getting close. How are you? Oh, wait. Oh, man. Here we go. It's too dark in here, right? Let's see what we can do. I'm not an expert yet, but hopefully it will change. A little lighting here. There you go. I think that's better. Hi, welcome to right here. Hi, welcome to Catch Me If You Can Live. My name is Nick, and we'll try to see what we can do with the music. Let's chat today, okay? All right. All right, that was great. That was great. Well, just like in any other entertainment, if you're beginning, you're kind of like shooting everything in one. Beforehand, I'd like to say hi to who's the first honors today. Let me go and see. All right. All right. I'm actually watching myself same with you, okay? But this time with you, okay? This time, look at that, I can hear you myself. So I'd like to say hi to all of you and chat with you. Hi. There you go. Let me just do this. So my first honors today, I think was Jean Misa. How do you know Superman? Look at that, Jean. Yes. Hi, and welcome to the show. Catch Me If You Can Live is here. My name is Nick Vera Perez, and let me just say hello to everyone who's watching right now. Do not forget to give this video right now a thumbs up and share it. Share, because some of them doesn't even know that we are already rolling. So go ahead and share. And hi to my wonderful heart's queen, Teresa Sata. Hi, how are you? Kumusta na? It's been a long time. I'm gonna say hi to you here so I can like answer back. Hi, Jean. Hi, Teresa. How's that? All in capital letters, right? But I know you wanna hear some music too, so let me play this music. It's by ABBA. It's beautiful. How's that? Alright, magandang araw sa inyong lahat. I know there's 3 watching right now. It's gonna go up. But anyway, thank you for watching. Let's dance with Nick. No, Catch Me If You Can Live. My name is Nick Vera Perez. Welcome to the show. I'm just here to visit all of you. You know, it's the weekend and a lot of you now is not working. So the only reason why I'm doing this, in spite of our business schedule, is to share time with you, to say how are you as a friend. I know I'm not obligated or obliged to do this, but I just feel like I have to do this because I know how it feels when you're alone out there, away from your families and friends. And this is just one of my way of saying thank you to for always gracing the beautiful music of I Am Ready. Okay? Sino ba ba? I'd like to say hi also to the MVP1 Angels. Ayun, mga shout out to all of you. And remember this, I have a message in a little bit, okay? But today we're gonna talk about things that matter most. I'm doing fine, still awake at 3:40 a.m. Thank you. I'm sorry if I had to wake you up at this time, Teresa, but thank you for coming. I mean, for watching. Okay, do not forget to share the video. Please keep sharing the video until we get more on board, and then we get to really have laughters. Okay, I'm gonna do the same. There you go. I'll try my best, but okay. Wala lang. I just feel like I miss everybody. And today what we're just really talking about is we're talking about diabetes. We're talking about bullying. We're talking about love. And for this time, I'd like to talk about how do you really control diabetes? A lot of things are going on, and how well do you really know yourselves? And it all boils down to trusting yourselves and to trusting what you can do to yourself to avoid diabetes. I am a nurse for more than 25 years now. So pretty much the experiences that I have plus the knowledge from the pathophysiology combined really helped me understand diabetes. For you out there I'd like you to understand the simplest meaning of diabetes. Diabetes is the inability to control your blood sugar levels in the body or in your bloodstream. Okay? Simple. Simple. Make it simple. The easier you understand, the better. It is your inability to control, to maintain the therapeutic level or the normal level of bloodstream of sugar in your bloodstream. There you go. Hi to Miss Olive DP. Kumusta na? Shout out to your son, JV. Let him watch on a different phone. And I'd like to say hi and hope to see you and meet you soon. Look at that. I'm wearing the Superman. Trying to be Superman. So let's go back to diabetes. And I really find it personable to relay this message to all of you. Diabetes is not a joke. It's one of those diseases that's very common to every one of us worldwide. Not just because you're Asian, not just because you're black, not just because you're white or of a certain origin, okay? Diabetes affects many people around the world for one thing. And just to give you a little bit of a heads up, most people die from diabetes not because they die because of the disease. Well, primarily that may be the cause, but the real thing is you can die from the complications of non-compliance, meaning your inability to control to say no. Once you build up within you the fact of saying no, you can't do this, yes, I can do this, no. The word no is a big thing for all of us. Once you have that in you, it will be easier to control diabetes. Now, when controlling diabetes is not easy because it takes all of the things that you've known since childhood away from you. But there is a way to fight that. You know, you don't need to actually remove everything from you. All you need to do is just, if you're used to eating 1 cup of rice, do half. And then until one time, maybe just half cup of rice each time. If you're used to having candies and sweets, just say no and take 1 candy a day. If you're used to eating a lot of fruits, which is, by the way, okay, of all the sugars, fruits is the best thing, but still it's just sugar, see? Our body seems to respond well to sugar, so it's very important to stay away from them, just like all our bodies are so loving to having sex. It's almost like taking away from what you love doing best. So for me, to say this to you is a little bit of a thankful situation because I dealt with this myself with my father and my brother and now my mother. So it's very important for me to share this. And for quite some time, there are 2 kinds of diabetes that I'd like you to understand. Type 1 and type 2. And most of us really have confusion over these 2. I'm just speaking from the heart and of course from the knowledge of background from the disease process, okay? Type 1 is the type of diabetes when you were born, you do not have any insulin in you. Or your islets of Langerhans, basically a little thing from your pancreas is unable to produce insulin at all, meaning you have 0 insulin production. And that's when you get the insulin. That's why type 1 diabetes, they usually control all the foods they eat. That's why most of them are really, really light and very thin, right? So before I proceed, I'd like to say hi to Neds Rodama, or that's Dan. And also hi to Miss Olive. Hi to Jin Misa. So yes, basically what you're saying, no to unlimited rice. You know, I've been in intensive care for 19 years and I'm sharing to you the things that we teach our patients as they go home. As nurses, we have that responsibility to give an education to patients to continue on living healthily. Now, if you don't know these things, it is really wise to share this video and let them know, because I'm not going to explain highfalutin words or make things confusing for you. Make it really just like grade 1 teaching of diabetes. So again, there's 2 types of diabetes. One is your inability to produce insulin, meaning you really don't have any insulin. That's type 1. And most of them were from childhood. You know, that's why sometimes this is called juvenile diabetes. Type 2, which most of us can have, usually occurs when you're 35 to 40 and even 45 or 50. What is type 2 diabetes? You still have insulin. Because imagine, when you were born up to that age, of certain limits, you still produces insulin. What gives you diabetes? As we define, diabetes is your inability to control sugar. But before we even go there, we'll define insulin. Insulin is an enzyme that breaks down the sugar, okay? And then we make this sugar into energy. Very simple stated. So now on type 2, you still have insulin, but there's so little. Because this is what happens to most of us. When there's a lot of food, you try to eat more than your body needs. And that is the number one culprit. And sometimes God gave us the freedom to choose whatever we want. Sometimes we do abuse. Not really sometimes. Most of the times we abuse and say, these are the dangerous things you can tell yourselves. And please remember this. Oh, it's not always. Oh, it's just once in a lifetime. Oh, it's okay. I'll deal with this later. Little did you know, it sneaks in really slow, right? Eat here, eat there. That's why in most healthy countries, you can really tell that they're really into healthy diets because this is how big they serve per meal. Just like one hamburger. The smaller the meal, the more complete, of course, the nutrition. Now, every food that we have has calculations because FDA or most of the regulating bodies around the world require them to put what kind of elements that or energy or substances or nutrients that we can get from this meal. That is a very good thing. So it's easier for all of us. It's all handed in our hands. It's up for us to really show and see that we are committed to protecting our health. Imagine if you do not. That's why most of us gives a bad reasoning when we're really depressed or sad. You go to eating. It gives you pleasure. When you're passing the exam, you're very hyper and happy. You want to celebrate. We want to celebrate. Food is a good thing. Do not get me wrong because that's where we get our energy. Understanding the 3 levels of food will help you control diabetes as well. But since now we are doing type 1 and type 2. Type 2, you still have insulin, but it's not enough to control your blood sugar getting in because of, number 1, too much food intake, and number 2, no exercises. That's why type 2 is better controlled with diet and exercise. You know, a lot of us. Now, type 2 can be very detrimental or deadly if you do not really consider doing exercise and diet. Meaning, you're just a lazy ass, sitting in your couch, doing nothing, okay with your body, like flabby. It is not doing good for you. And every time you do that, you are sinning because your body is God's vessel. That is the church of God. So I'm not trying to be a preacher or a santo santito because that's not me. I'm just giving you some lectures based on healthy living that could change your lives. All right, so many, and I agree with Teresa Zata, just eat rice once a week. But if you're not ready yet to do that, do not do that. Because I'm always 1 rice a week. But I compensate by eating high protein and drink a lot of water. So now do not ruin my trend. So now we go to consulting the right amount of food that we take. Because if you do not control, if you go to the grocery and if you already know about sugar and carbs, first thing you notice from entering the grocery, it's like built up, set up for you to buy these things so you can have diabetes. For some reason, that's how I feel. So it's up for you to go out because it's not a sin showing you all these kinds of food. It is a sin that if you know it's bad, you're still going to take it. You see what I'm saying? So be careful when you do that. 3 kinds of foods. We have the carbs, proteins, and proteins and fats. Now, the breakdown of each is very important for you to know because if you know these and their breakdowns, when I say breakdowns, these are the times when the food is converted into energy, all right? Carbohydrates are broken down and become energy in 2 hours. Proteins in 3 hours, fats in 4 hours. So meaning, if you eat more fats, the longer you starve. Or hindi ka basta-basta nagugutom. The more you eat carbs, the faster you become hungry, which is like 2 hours. And then proteins, 3 hours. So be very careful about these food groups. Knowing their functions is also very important. Carbs or carbohydrates, what do they do to our body? They give us energy. The energy to talk like this, the energy to do anything from you waking up to you're sleeping. Now, some of us base our intake of without. So trying to see because I think something wrong with my camera. Oh, there you go, guys. I'm so sorry, guys. So if you're carb loading and you understand that when you take in carbs in 2 hours time, you'll be hungry again. And remember, it's like going to the bank, I said. When you go to the bank, the more you deposit money and you're not doing anything about the money, your money becomes bigger. Same thing with the food. If you take in more energy food and you're not running, you're not doing exercise, guess what happens to this food? They become stored as fats. The number one storage for fats with all of us is our belly. That is the number one thing. So if you do not see that coming, guess what? Look at what we call build bill. So there's so many kinds of sugars, okay? And most of them come from carbohydrates. Let me give you an example of carbohydrates. There's complex, saturated, and non-saturated. These things I will not even touch, but we can do that later. But the simpler put, the better for us to understand, right? So carbohydrates would include potatoes, rice, of course, the white rice. What else? The bread, the pasta, sugar cane itself, soda, soft drinks, any kind of soft drinks. These are all sugars. Or hopia, siopao, all their white buns. These are all carbs. Now, some of them are mixed with meat inside. Anything meaty like beef, pork, fish, chicken. These are all protein, okay? You can also get proteins from legumes. Legumes meaning these are really small, tiny plants like mongo, quinoa, pea pods. The green peas, yes, and the pea pods, peas, yes. The leaves is the veggies. They have everything, so we will not even group them into 3 food groups. They just have everything. So now we go to the fats. Well, fats, the grease stuff, right? Every time you eat something, and the moment you wake up, you think about something. You wash dishes. You wash your laundry. You run for the day. If you calculate all of your movements from your brain to your heart doing this and to your exercise, if your outcome of calorie used is 2,700, but you ate so much and you had 3,000, so you still have 300 left to consume, correct? What would happen to the 300? They get stored in your belly as fat. Now, this is very important for all of us to understand this. Anything starchy food, be very careful. Anything like bread, be very careful. Life is given to us as a blessing. We should not abuse the living. All right? For us to enjoy more, eat anything in moderation. If you go beyond what you're supposed to have, guess what? This is why we all go to heaven very soon. So don't do that, okay? As a reminder for each and all of us, living healthy is actually a good thing because it means you're taking care of God's vessel. All right? And I would like you to also understand, the more carbs you take in, did you notice this? The more carbs, you're very awake, and it is the best time to actually go to the workout, go to the gym, and burn the fats or calories. That is one way to control your blood sugar. Another way is aside from lowering your carbs, is increasing your protein intake. But remember this, with protein comes a little bit danger for your kidneys. That's what they say. But again, in excess of what you need. When you take in some proteins, for example, the protein powder shake is good. What else? The quinoa. I love quinoa. And spirulina. Spirulina is like a veggie thing, but it is very high in protein. If you do not like to have, because some of the meats really have, if you're young, you can take a lot of beef, a lot of pork. I try to stay away from beef. I'm more into pork. Like I eat beef steak from good restaurants in like once every 3 months now or 6 months. I really try to stay away because beef is stronger in cholesterol, in giving you more fats in your bloodstream. And you don't want that as well. If you're taking more protein though, you have to take a lot of water. You have to flush everything. The same thing when you take a lot of carbs. You have to flush everything. Now, when you take fats, What's good with fats? Well, fats is also good. It gives you insulation. When I say insulation, it does not bring your body down to its coldness level right away. It gives you protection against the cold weather out there. That's why everything, if you actually put that in numbers, if you're taking 10 points in carbs, you have to take proteins, like you do it the math, you do 5 points for carbs, you go 8 points with proteins and 2 points with fats. What I did before to control everything, um, I did not totally remove my fats. What I did was I just took, like, if I eat salad, I will not throw the dressing because that is my only source of fat for the day. Now, my trainer and my nutritionist would say, do not eat this, do not eat that. I kind of figure, since I'm a nurse myself, I took nutrition classes when I was in college. So I kind of know how to play the game. So basically, these are the standards, but to each his own. Why did I say that? Because you and I, we're all unique. What works for me may not work with you, or what works for our age group may not work with the other age group. Remembering your age group is also very important, especially with metabolism. As you grow older, meaning 40 and above, your metabolism changes. What is metabolism? Metabolism is your capacity to break down whatever you eat and turn them into energy. It is your body's capacity. So the younger you are, of course, the better. You know, your heart pumps really faster than most of us. So young minds, young hearts, and young ones have higher, faster heart rates, meaning they could break down things easily as well. Now, if you have a high heart rate because you have fever or you are dehydrated or because you just came from an exercise, that's a different thing. All right. So aside from that, when you are 40 and above like me, your metabolism changes. I go to the gym like 6 times a week now, but my body does not change that quick because I'm no longer 18 years old or 19 years old. But if the time I spend in the gym is the same as the 18-year-old, he will be buff like maybe in 3 weeks right away, buffer than me, buffer than anyone. See, the age plays a very important role. You know why? Aside from the metabolism, it's our own level of testosterone. They go lower as you age, and you can kind of feel, you know why? Because the things that you used to do gives you fatigue now, and so it changes everything. So there you go. Remember this, diabetes, let's wrap things up. Diabetes is your inability to control blood sugar in your body. What gives you blood sugar? The carbohydrates or the sweets. Example, rice, carbs, potatoes, bread, pasta, soda. Okay, those things give you sweets. Do you think they give you fats too? Of course. If these sugars convert itself and become your ADT, or what's that? ATP. ATP is a very long, you can Google that because I'm not pronouncing it. It's a ribonucleic acid, but it's really long, but I had a hard time pronouncing it, but I love the essence of it. It's your energy food that turns, it's the food that you eat from the starch and turns, or anything you eat and turns into energy because of that substance. It's like an enzyme turning into that. Now, there's so many processes before it breaks down to sugar, and we're not going to go there, but I'm making it easier for you. You know, sometimes we have the glucogenesis and glycolysis and all that. We're not going to go there, but we're just going to the process how you eat and break it down and how it turns to be in sugar. As your sugar levels goes up, of course, you just ate, right? As your sugar level goes up, it needs something to break down what you ate. And here comes your insulin. Insulin is an enzyme produced by our islets and Langerhans by your pancreas, which gives you the right, by normalcy, gives you the right to digest these sugars and turn them into energy. If you're not able to digest them because you don't have any insulin, that's type 1. If you cannot digest them thoroughly because you have a little insulin, that's type 2. Make sense? So, we go now, these are the definitions and all the things that you need to know in a simple term. What do you do with them? If you have type 1 diabetes, of course, without a doubt, you will have insulin. That's why type 1 is sometimes called, not sometimes, it's also called IDDM, insulin dependent diabetic medication. No, I'm just kidding. Insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. Okay, I'm just joking. And then type 2 is NIDDM, non-insulin dependent diabetes mellitus. When I say type 2, that's when you go the mode of treatment, watch and learn, exercise and diet, okay? Do not so get used to being comfy in your home and do the things that you don't like doing and turn it into something that you love doing every day. When you go to the gym, it's not because you want to look good for everybody to see, no. You go to the gym because this is your lifestyle. You have to do the gym because one day you won't be able to. Number one. Number two is because it's for your own good. Well, the other way around. Number two, you control your diet. So I've already given you the 3 food groups, right? Decrease your carbs, increase your protein, and lower your fats. Either of the 3 though, if you eat them in excess, will always give you sugar. Remember that. Even though you ate fat and no carbs, if you're not using enough expenditures of this energy, they get stored as fats in your belly, and later, if you don't use them, turn into, yes, there you go. A lot of these things happen because of one thing, because we are non-compliant, whether it be with the food or medication. And I hope that you guys enjoyed a little bit of summary from diabetes, because right now it's one of the hardest things to cure and one of the hardest things to really say no to food, right? And I really feel bad whenever I try to control my mother not to do this, not to do that. But in fairness, she has been very, very religious and she's able to control everything, and I'm so proud of her. Allow me to greet all of you. Let's say hi to Nena de los Reyes, who is in town from Singapore. Hello to Nezra Dama. Hello to Duquesa Modelo. Ayun, ayun. Thank you, thank you. Hello to Rosemary Sarmiento. Ayun. Ayun. Hello to all of you. Do not forget to share the video and let them see this, because this is very important. You know, some of us will have to pay doctors to learn about diabetes. Here I'm giving it to you for free, the simplest way possible. Now allow me also to play this music to you, because I love this song right now. It's from ABBA. Ayan. So with that in mind, maraming salamat sa inyong lahat sa walang sawang pagtungkilig sa Let's Dance with Nick at Catch Me If You Can Live. I always say Let's Dance with Nick, right? I am inviting all of you on May 23rd. Please come to the show at the Music Museum. This is the grand concert of the I Am Ready, meaning it would be like 10 to 16 songs in a row. And I would like to welcome all the angels and families and friends, because this is really like a reunion for all of us. So allow me to thank each one of you for always loving and for always honoring and respecting each other, and most of all, always taking good care of yourselves. I see some of you take good care of your parents, of your friends and loved ones, so thank you very much. And all of you who's just tuning in, do not forget to subscribe and tell all your friends to subscribe. The more the merrier, okay? I would have a lot of raffle prizes in the coming months. After the anniversary, if you're watching from Illinois, and those who are coming here to Chicago, I'm inviting all of you to our first anniversary of MVP One World. And it's going to be a blast. It's highly invitational. And we're kind of screening only for good-hearted people to attend. And I'm welcoming all of you, if you're here, to please come and attend. It's also featuring our main star for the show, Olivia Saint. Ayun. Of course, all our MVP angels are there, and we are trying to bring the show to you on March 23rd. You're gonna meet all of them, and I'm praying that you will all attend and give us all a break. Okay? Thank you for the music. That's the song of the day. And after this, we're gonna go to Smule. I'm hitting 2 birds in 1 stone, because tomorrow I'll be very busy, the 31st, and then September 1 comes. So, okay. Maraming salamat. Do not forget to subscribe and give this a thumbs up after watching, and allow all of you to be blessed each single time. My name is Nick Vera Perez. Until next time, do not forget, at the end of the video, not in the chat room, at the end of this video, there are some comments that you can do. Please do some comments below. Tell me what do you need to know health-wise that we can talk about, and I will always attend if I know. Alright? Maraming salamat sa inyong lahat. I love you, I love you, I love you, and I really do. Until next time. Bye-bye.